Hi everybody. First of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And I'm also thankful to Dr. Huck for simplifying my job, introducing few concepts which are necessary for this session also. Let us see today's agenda. First we will see generation and real-time detection of QR codes. Then we will have small discussion on Python RE library. RE means regular expression. And then we'll have small discussion on project deliverables. Let us start with this. Earlier, the mostly used programming language was Fortran, but later on several other languages got popularity. By the year 2000, Java became most popular because of that Y2K problem, and then from 2004 onwards Python gained popularity, and by 2019 it has become mostly used programming language. So let us start with our first agenda, generation and real-time detection of QR codes. Let us see a few of its applications. In the first application, we are very much familiar. In this digitization of the world, we are doing all our payments, almost all our payments at restaurants or grocery shops through mobiles. And you might have got experience that to do these mobile payments, you are scanning the QR code. This is another example where this guy is reading some paper on laptop and suddenly he has to leave and he want to continue the reading the paper on mobile. For that he is not typing the URL of that website, but he simply getting access on mobile also simply by scanning the QR code, which is available as a Google extension. You can gain more understanding looking into this website. So this is one interesting application where QR code is incorporated into a browser as an extension, Chrome extension. This is another interesting application where we operate lifts usually like this, but in the current scenario this is not at all preferred. We want to do everything touch free. So Omega Elevators has coming up with this solution. You can scan QR code and you can enter where you are and which floor you want to go. So everything is touch free. So let us see what are QR codes. QR codes are images that are printed, stickered or displayed around almost everywhere. They act as quick response codes. So QR stands for quick response, and they are making our life easy in these days. So mostly they look like this. They are some black dots on white background. It has few characteristics. Like this blue shade indicates version control, and these patterns are useful for providing alignment. You are not scanning QR code stand still perfectly aligned with your camera. There will always be some tilt or some angular rotation. All of them will be corrected while extracting the information present in the QR codes. For more information about the structure and characteristics of QR codes, there are a lot of varieties are there. You can refer this link, Wikipedia link. You can see some of the QR codes are coming up with some logos like Wi-Fi or some company logo. Even the dots are all not always black in color, they can be of different colors. So you can personalize according to your taste these QR codes. So the question comes, what information these QR codes actually contain? So usually these are not passwords. This information is not any secret information. The information which we want to easily pass on, such information can be incorporated into QR codes. So textual information such as names, addresses, phone numbers, email IDs, bank account numbers, etc. So you might have realized that it is alphanumerical. Some special characters can also be there. So it is especially ASCII character set. Entire ASCII character set can be included within the QR codes. So next question is how to create such things. If you have already having a QR code, how to understand, how to decode or decrypt that QR code, what information is there, how do you extract? Well, there are several apps, websites, so you can go through, you can Google, you find a lot of websites. We want to do it in a programmable way using Python, and never start from scratch, because already some libraries might be there. So I have searched and I found these set of libraries are very useful for this scenario. You see, I have given the versions also. These are specific versions which are compatible with each other. Python usually you will be having. Remaining you have to install. RE comes up with Python by default. NumPy also comes by default, but all other Segno, OpenCV, PyZBar, Matplotlib, all of them you have to install. Okay, so let us start. Okay, here we go. Let us see first generation of QR codes. For this we use Segno library. It has to be installed by yourselves. It doesn't come default with Python. So import Segno and Segno helpers. So step 1 is creating a vCard. So what is the name of the person, what is the display name, what is the email, phone number, URL, all these things. A vCard can be created using make vCard data method, which is available with the helpers. That vCard is created, display that vCard. So it is the whole thing is available as a single string. You can see here version, we have not entered that explicitly, but it is taking on its own because it is how it works, this method works. So version is 3. I think this is the recent version. So we have vCard as a single string. Now that should be converted into a QR code, and that QR code has to be saved. We are saving it as ABCD PNG. It gets saved on your hard disk. So now that is available as an image, as I said earlier in the presentation. Now how do you load? For loading, as it is just an image, we can use any image processing or computer vision libraries. Here I am using OpenCV library. For display purpose, Matplotlib library. So import those packages and then read image using this imread method, and then display the image. So this is what we have created just now, abcd.png. Right, looking at this we cannot understand what is the information present in there, because all the ASCII codes are being displayed as some dots here. Mostly email IDs here and names somewhere and the locations like that. So we completed two things. One is generation, and second one is load and displaying that QR codes. Now let's see how to decode, extract that textual information present in the QR code. And for that we are using PyZBar. This is a very popular one, very useful, very accurate. Okay, so along with that regular expressions library is also I'm importing. So once the libraries are imported, we can decode that QR code image. So this image is a variable representing that abcd.png, abcd.png. So now the PyZBar.decode method returns a decoded object. This is an object. You can see that here there are several fields like data, type, and polygon, and some points. We are mostly interested in data part, data field. Leave the rest of the things, but you can extract the individual fields using this piece of code, right? So object.type, object.data, object.rectangle, object.polygon gives the individual data fields into individual variables. Now we have our required information in this data variable, right? In this data variable. Now you can see here this B stands for byte information. So it is a string represented in byte format. First that has to be converted into string format. Okay, and for that we are using this decode method with this optional argument. By default also it converts into string. So now this data one doesn't have any B. That means it is being converted into string. If you look at this, this is again having several things like begin version, right? And what is the name, and what is the name, display name, email, telephone number, URL, all these things. And those things are being separated by this new line. So we first of all convert this entire string into list of values using this split method, which is being already discussed by Huxer. So we got several elements in this list. Let us extract what is this email and what is the URL, and an empty lists are created, emails and URLs. And then in this data, every element is taken in this loop in each iteration, and in that, if the first thing after splitting, if the first element is email, then collect the second element and append it to emails list. Similarly, if the first element is URL, append the second element excluding this \r into the URLs list. This one is necessary. You figure out why by experimenting on your own. So this piece of code, this cell of code is giving us let me execute. This gives us the set of emails and set of URLs present in the QR code. Right now you have extracted email and URL information from the QR code. Similarly, if any other information is there, that also can be extracted and segregated into different lists. Okay, now let us see, this is another interesting part of this session where we want to do it in real time. We want to extract the information present in QR code in real time, and this is how it can be done. So CV2 library, OpenCV library is useful in this scenario. So first you enable your webcam and start taking video frame by frame and repeat the same procedure whatever we have seen in the earlier cells, notebook cells. Repeat the whole thing again, but this time in this infinite loop that will automatically extract information and display on the display frame. You'll understand. Let us execute this. So here we are. So even though I tilt a little bit its position, its relative angle, its scale, everything is changing, but still you can see that this piece of code, this small code is able to extract the information, right? So here you can see when that cell is executed, and if I show the QR code to the camera, it will automatically extract the information. And here I have displayed only email ID. It has only one email ID, efg@example.org. You can see that this is not stationary, this is moving continuously. Its scale is changing, its relative angle is changing. So I'm doing everything to distract, but still it is able to find what the information present in the QR code. Okay. Now similarly I have several other QR codes. You can see this is another QR code which is having two emails, that is finding those two emails without any problem. Okay. Now you start this project assignment. There are two ways of learning any programming language or any concept. One way is coding your own programs. Second way is debugging other source codes. Now what I'm asking is you to do in the second way. This itself is a big task. Installing these libraries successfully is itself is a big task. Complete that first, and then as a task one, you run this notebook successfully, and then modify the notebook to create personalized QR codes with multiple data values. Multiple data values in the sense name may be having only one name, but email IDs, phone numbers can have alternative ones, like two mail IDs, two phone numbers. So learn how to create a QR code with multiple data values to any field. And then task 3 is decode such QR code in real time. Okay, that completes your project assignment. That's all. So now we have completed our first task. Let us move on to the next thing. That is some discussion on this regular expression library. In this, your task one is doing like this. I will be giving you the codes, but first of all, let us understand the problem. You have this text, a large text, and this text has one word repeated several times. You are supposed to count, your code supposed to count how many number of times that particular text or that particular word has been repeated in the entire text. And it can be accomplished using couple of lines of code which is given here. So we use find all method of regular expression. Whatever word you want to find in the given text, that you have to enter like this, and this is a string variable which is having the entire text, and results is a list of all these words, and its length gives the count. This is first task, can be done using these 3 lines of code, actually 1 line. Task 2 is you can see in the same text we have here some numbers in square brackets. These are called citations. While writing this article, the author of this article has referenced several documents, and in his reference list, this is the 5th document, in the reference list 6th document, like that. The task 2 is finding out the citations appeared in the text. So whatever digits are present in the within the square brackets, that we want to extract. And this can also be done very easily using the same find all method, but now the expression has changed. The earlier expression is an exact matching is required. Here not the exact matching, because within the square brackets the number may be anything. We are having single digit here, 5, 6, which are from 0 to 9, and you may be having dozens of references, like reference number 12, reference number 18, reference 181, like that. So this regular expression, what this says is, this backslash square bracket says that you are looking for a pattern which starts with a square bracket, and this backslash closing bracket says that your pattern should end with this closing bracket. And in between this opening and closing brackets, there should be digits from 0 to 9 repeated any number of times. So you can actually detect references with reference number any large value, like it can be 1, it can be 100, it can be 1000, or it can be 9944, anything like that. So this single line is able to do that, and that can be printed. All these citations as a list we can print. So based on understanding of these 2 tasks, which I will explain through coding also, you can do this project. So project assignment is, suppose we have text data like this. This is to inform you all that some text is there having number of email IDs. What you are supposed to understand is email IDs are unique. The pattern of every email ID has some commonality like @ symbol, and followed by some characters, followed by a dot, followed by the domain. Here the domain is com, here the domain is id or co.id here, and then after @ and before the domain name, the number of characters are differing, the set of characters are differing. It can be either Outlook, Gmail, or Yahoo, it can be anything. Similarly, in the email ID itself, you may have pure characters or special characters like dots or numbers. Okay, so a lot of variability is there in the email expressions. First of all, length can be anything, and then it may have alphabets, digits, or special characters like dot, and after @ symbol, the domain can be anything like Outlook, Gmail, all these things. Now the task is finding all these email IDs. There is no fixed pattern. Any commonality is there, that is email ID consists of @ symbol, and before @ symbol it is inconsistent. After @ symbol also there is inconsistency, except some .com, .in. How do you write expression? The regular expression for detecting such things is the assignment. Now that can be accomplished. That you have to do actually by searching in some websites. So here you write the expression just like I have written few expressions earlier in the first two tasks, and that expression you are passing as one argument to this find all method from the email text, this string, this entire string, that automatically detects the emails. So let us see the execution of these piece of codes, task 1, task 2, and then you can go for project assignment. On your own you can complete that. Okay, here we go. The task 1. First import the regular expression library and then open the text document that I have provided to you. Its FP is a file pointer. Printing that alone doesn't give anything. What text it has doesn't get displayed. One way of displaying it is like this, within the loop, line by line reading and displaying it. Alternatively, this is how it can also be done. Once that loop is executed all iterations, your file pointer will be at the end of the file. To take that file pointer to its originating position, this statement is useful, fp.seek 0. So file pointer is again at the initial position, and the entire data can be read through this read method, and then that entire text can be displayed. As the entire information is there in this text variable, the file pointer is no more necessary, so it can be closed. So I have closed it. Now we have this text, and as I said earlier, it has the word email repeated several number of times. That number of times we have to count, and this piece of code, as I have explained just now, can accomplish that task. So there are 30 number of times it has been present in the entire text, but here my expression is having a lowercase email, but you can experiment in developing an expression which can detect the number of times email irrespective of its case, number of times it has appeared. Okay, then this count will definitely change. Let us move on to next task, task 2, where the number of citations. The citations, as I said earlier, the citations can be the 6th reference, 15th reference, or 60th reference, or so like that. So this actually does. So we have reference number 5 first appearing, then 6, then 53, 54, so on and so forth. While writing a research article, you can complete your article, and then you can find whether anything is missing or not by the help of this code. Okay, so these are the references that are present or that are being cited in this piece of text. Okay, that completes your second task, where the expression is like this. It should start with opening bracket, it should end with the pattern you are looking for, should end with a closing bracket, and in between the any digit from 0 to 9 may appear any number of times. So 2 digits appearing, one is 5, another is 4, so it will be extracted, and so like that. Next is project assignment. So not necessary, but again I am inputting the regular expression library. This is another text document that I am opening and reading the entire information into this string variable, and then I am closing that file pointer. So this is the text it is having. So it has several email IDs with varying patterns. Only commonality is only that @ symbol, but in the entire text I want to detect only the email IDs. So this is a string variable. You have to write your expression here, regular expression here, that should be passed on as one argument to the find all object, that automatically find all the email IDs. That can be done, but you need to little bit search. Okay, so that's it. Any doubts, you can contact me anytime. Thank you. Thank you.